Welcome to all. Here we are going to learn the CHG 290 course, which is the second semester MSc first year. Okay, don't be confused. This is the another subject for MSc first year. The course name is CHG 290. Okay, bioinorganic are the course or another subject which includes the course CHI 230, and this is the organometallic chemistry. This is the course of what? CHG 290. Okay, don't be confused. So let's start. The last time we will learn the what are the metal organometallic compounds, and also mostly used ligands for the organometallic compounds are the metal carbonyl compound, and that's why here we discussed already about the metal carbonyl compound. What are the metal carbonyl compounds and how they form the bonding between the metal and the carbonyl carbon. They form mostly the two types of bonding, sigma bonding and pi back bonding. We'll discuss this in earlier lecture. Today we are going to learn the next topic related to the metal carbonyl, that is what? The synthesis of metal carbonyl. Let me see the first type, that is direct carbonylation process. By the direct carbonylation process we synthesize the metal carbonyl compound. Let me see the first example. There is nickel which is reacted with the 4-carbonyl, we get NiCO4 which is pale yellow in color. Next, Fe which is reacted with the 5-carbonyl. By giving the temperature 150 degrees Celsius and the 100 bar pressure, we get FeCO5. Next process, that is the reductive carbonylation process. That means the reduction of carbonyl compounds takes place over here. First, reductive carbonylation from the metal halide compound. Okay, this is the first metal halide, that is what? Chromium trichloride compound, which is reacted with the aluminium and 6-carbonyl. We get here the CrCO6 plus AlCl3 by giving the temperature 140 degrees Celsius and the pressure 300 bar. Another compound, that is MoCO5 Cl5, which is reacted with the 5 sodium and 6-carbonyl. We get MoCO6, that is hexacarbonyl molybdenum. Next, that is WCl6, which is reacted with the 3 zinc plus 6-carbonyl, we get WCO6, that is say hexacarbonyl tungsten. Okay, next preparation, that is what? The from metal oxides and the carbonyl. Here from metal halide we get the what? This type of compound, that is CrCO6, MCO6, WCO6. All these are what? Are the monomeric metal carbonyl compound. Monomeric carbonyl compounds. Okay, and here these are the next, that is OSO4 which is reacted with the carbonyl. We get OS3CO12 plus 4CO2 which is released. Okay, that means from metal oxides and carbonate we get the different types of the metal carbonyls, and all these metal carbonyls are what? Multimeric or dimeric or trimeric compound. Okay, these are dimeric or trimeric compound. Okay, first let me see OSO4 which is reacted with the carbonyl. We get OS3CO12, Re2O7, that is rhenium oxide, which is reacted with the 17CO. By giving the temperature 290 degrees Celsius and 215 atmospheric pressure, we get Re2CO10. And third, that is a cobalt carbonate, which is reacted with the H2 and 8CO. By giving the temperature 100 to 150 degrees Celsius and 240 bar pressure, we get CO2, CO8 type of the product. Next, we are going to learn that is a reaction of metal carbonyl compound. Let me see the first reaction. that is reduction. Okay, that is a carbonyl anion, conversion of a compound to the carbonyl anion. Here this vanadium, hexacarbonyl vanadium, which is reacted with the sodium, we get NaVCO6. That is what, if we remove the sodium, this get converted to the, this complex have the negative charge. That means what, this is the conversion of the neutral compound to the anionic form, that is more reactive form. Okay, next it is Mn2CO10, which is reacted with 2Na, which here we get 2Na-MnCO5. that means dimeric compound get converted to the monomeric. Here also CO2CO8, which is reacted with the 2Na, we get 2NaCO4. Okay, next that is the oxidation, that is a idocarbonylation, formation of idocarbonyl, that is Mn2CO10, which is reacted with the I2. Here we get 2MnCO5I. Okay, likewise FeCO5, which is reacted with the I2. Here we get FeCO4 I2 compound. Next, that is a photochemical substitution reaction. That means what happened here is the substitution of the another ligand which can be takes place over here. Here WCO6, which is reacted with the PPH3, by the action of UV radiation, we get WCO5 PPH3. That means the substitution of the PPH3 takes place by removing the CO. Okay, this is about the reaction of the metal carbonyl compound. Okay, next we are going to learn, this is very important topic, that is 18 electron rule. Okay, of the carbonyl compound. Here today we are going to learn the 18 electron rule for what, only the metal carbonyl compound. This is the metal carbonyl compound. Okay, let me see. This Sedgwick is the scientist who introduced the concept of effective atomic number. Sometimes it is called as what, EAN. Okay, he suggested that the metal ion atoms of the ion will tends to accept the metal which accept the electron. This metal which accept the electron from the ligand. Okay, okay, and or donor, from the donor, they achieve an inert gas configuration or achieve the effective atomic number which is next to the inert gas. This concept we will learn or understood by taking an examples. Okay, this effective atomic number is sometimes called as 18 electron rule. Let me see the rules of this 18 electron. Here the ligand, the metal which is bonded to the ligand, let me see the number of electron counted by this ligand. Okay, here count 2 electron whenever these ligands which are this carbonyl, here our ligand is what, carbonyl, that's why we consider only the carbonyl. If we consider the carbonyl, this carbonyl which is present to the terminal position, that time consider the 2 electron, and if this ligand or this carbonyl which is present to the bridging position, that time consider the 1 electron. Next rule is, if there is a metal-metal bond, count 1 electron from each metal bond. Here if there is a metal-metal bond, that time this metal-metal bond count 1 electron, and find the total number of electron or the valence shell electron in the metal atom or the ions. Add the electron count from rule 1 to 3, or last all we has to add all the electrons. Let me see by taking an examples. First is count the number of electron in FeCO5 and predict its structure. Okay, here there are the two way we can find out the total number of electron, and we consider whether this molecule is stable or not. Okay, according to the EAN rule, and next is that is what, 18 electron rule. What is the difference of that? In the EAN rule, we consider the all the electron of the metal ion. Ligands, considering the electron from the ligands are the same, but here in the EAN rule we consider the total atomic number of the metals, and in case of 18 electron rule we consider only the valence electron of the metal atom. Here the metal atom is Fe. Okay, what is the difference of that? In EAN, Fe, we consider the atomic number or total number of electron of the Fe, and in 18 electron rule, we consider only what? The valence electron. Okay, let's start with that. According to the EAN, let me start. Here there are how many carbonyls there? Five carbonyls are there. That's why then each carbonyl, and here we know the structure. The carbonyl, all these carbonyl are the terminal. That's why each carbonyl having the 2 electron, 2 into 5. That's why total number of electrons are 10. In there is only one Fe is there. That's why metal-metal bond is 0, and Fe has the atomic number 26. That's why by combination of this, the total number of electron there is a 36. Okay, this is near to the next noble gas. Noble gas. This noble gas is what? I think xenon. Okay, argon. Okay, here this is 18 electron. That means what? In according to the EAN, if the total number of electron which is equal to the noble gas electron, that time that molecule, that organometallic compound is stable. That means there is a 36, that this is equal to the noble gas. That's why this compound is a stable compound. According to the 18 electron, if the total number of electron are 18, that time that molecule is a stable molecule. Okay, let me see. The electron from carbonyl is, there are the 5 carbonyl. One carbonyl contains 2 electron. That's why total number of electron are 10. Here only one metal is there. That's why there is no metal-metal bonding. Metal-metal bonding is 0, and total valence electron are the what of the Fe is 8. Why? Because Fe has valence electronic configuration is 4s2 and 3d6. That's why total number of electrons is 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, and that's why if we sum of these all electron, we get 18. Okay, according to the 18 electron rule, our sum of electron is 18. That's why this structure is stable. And here, since there are the 5 carbonyls are there, that's why the structure is trigonal and pyramidal. Next example is what? ReCO10. Here you can see here the valence electronic configuration of Fe is what? Ar, 4s2 and 3d6. Okay, near noble gas is argon. Okay, next is what? Count the number of electron of Re2CO10. Here there are 10 carbonyl. We consider only for one Re. That's why here one Re contains 5 carbonyl. That's why we consider here the 5 carbonyl. 5 carbonyl has a 10 electron. There is a 2 Re is there. That's why metal-metal bonding is 1. That's why we consider 1 electron. And the radium has the atomic number, total number of electrons is 75. That's why this is total number of electron is 86, which is near to the radon. That's why which is equal to the noble gas, and that's why this is what? Stable compound. Next, according to the 18 electron, this one Re contains 5 carbonyl. That's why they contains 10 electron. There is a one metal-metal bonding. That's why contains count the 1 electron. And radium having valence electron, that is 7. You can see here the xenon valence electron configuration is 6s2 5d 5 plus 2, that is 7. That is valence electron is 7. That's why if we sum it, the total number of electron are 18. That's why this molecule or this organometallic compound is stable. Okay, this is homework for you. Count the number of electron in MoCO6 and predict the structure. Okay, this is homework, MoCO6. Thank you very much for your attention. The next time we will learn the number of electron counting for the different ligands. Okay, here today we are going to learn the number of 18 electron rule for only metal carbonyl compound, but in next lecture we will learn the number of electron count for the different type of the ligand, because the total number of 18 electron count is also, or is always asked in the net set examination, which is very important for your syllabus. That's why here they gives us not only the carbonyl compound but also the different ligands. Okay, and we has to calculate their 18 electron rule or 18 number, and by counting the 18 electron we can find out whether that molecule is stable or the unstable. Okay, so we will see in the next lecture the number of 18 electron count for the different types of the metal ligand compounds. Okay, thank you very much for watching your lecture and your attention. Okay.